What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Codemat. It's a third session from the competitive programming tactics, and today's topic is we will learn about the prefix sum. In this session, we are going to learn about how the prefix sum works, how it will be efficient in case of different range query, and why one should be knowing the prefix sum approach. And then we will try to take one example and we'll try to understand with the normal brute force approach, and versus we will try to solve it with a prefix sum. And then at the end we will list down some of the problems or which can be efficiently solved with the prefix sums. Before we proceed, if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe as we solve a lot of competitive problems. There are few more tactics is there in the pipeline. We will soon will launch those things. Now let's get started. So what prefix sum says is, so prefix sum is the cumulative sum of a sequence of numbers x0 to x1 till xn. It is a sequence. It is itself a sequence of a number y0, y1, yn, such that if you see what it says is prefix sum, we calculate, you have a given some numbers, we calculate a sum of prefix sum out of it, and then we use that sum to find some results. So what that sum will be look like is, if you see in this, so sum of 0 is going to be your x0, sum of 1 you will take from 0 and x1 and you will calculate a sum of 1, sum of 2 you will take. So ultimately prefix sum, how it works is, at any point of I you will calculate a sum from 0 to till I, and that way we will create one imaginary array of sums which will be your prefix sum. Alright, now let's see one example how it will be beneficial. So let's say prefix sums can be used to calculate the sum of elements in a given range. So if we wish to find out the sum of values between, let's say, L and R, we can obtain the sum by subtracting the prefix sum of R by sum of L minus 1. So what it says is, let's say you have calculated a prefix sum and then some query is given to you where you want to find out a sum between L and R from the given numbers. So that can be found because sum of R will have all the sum from 0 to R, and then you subtract L minus 1. So that says like you are subtracting a sum from 0 to L minus 1, that will give you a sum range between L and R. Let's understand this with one more problem is, you are given a list of n numbers and q queries. Alright, each query is specified by two numbers I and j. The answer to each query is the sum of every number between range I and j inclusive. Alright, now let's understand with the example. Alright, so let's say this is what the input array given to us with n numbers. Alright, now let's first calculate a prefix sum. So how prefix sums we will calculate is, for the first number we will put it as same because there is no previous number, so we'll start from first number, so it is going to be 1. The second number, for second index you will take a sum from 0 till that index I. Okay, for second, so 1 plus 3, that is going to be 4. For third index, that will be 1 plus 3 minus 2, that is going to be 2. Alright, and then for 5 we are going to calculate with the 5, so from 0 to 4 fourth index it will going to be 7. Okay, and for here 9. So ultimately if you see every index, we can also take this previous sum and we can add this current number, so then it will give me a current number. So it is going to be 16. So 16 plus 4, that is going to be 20. 20 plus 7, that is going to be 27. 20 plus 8, that is going to be 35. Alright, so this is my prefix sum. Okay, now let's say there is in the question it is given that you have a q queries which has different I and j, and we would like to get a result or a sum between this I and j. Now if you go through the brute force way, what we can do is like go for each query, go between I and j and find out a sum. So that is, if you check, then that is going to have a time complexity n into your number of queries, because that many times you need to iterate through the array and you need to find out a sum for that. Now using prefix sum, how it can be efficient. So one thing we know is how to find out a sum between range L and R. Just now we have checked, right? So you know the sum of R at index R minus, if you do sum of L minus 1, that gives you sum between L and R. So this is going to be a constant time operation. So for the Q query you will have only of Q time complexity you need to do that. Now how this will work, let's say let's take one example. We want to find out a sum between let's say this index is 2 and this index is 5. All right, in between this 2 we would like to find out a sum for that. So if we put sum at R, so here our right hand side is index 5, so sum at R is 20. All right, minus L minus 1, so that is going to be L is your 2, L is at your index 2, so we will take sum from the first index, so 20 minus 4, so that gives you 16. So that is going to be minus 2, 5, 9 and 4. This gives a sum as 16. So with this, if you calculate the prefix sum, then this your range queries between finding a sums for the Q different queries, it is going to be a constant operation. So that's where we will get a benefit in terms of calculating the range sum queries. All right, now let's go back. All right, why one should be knowing this approach, how it will be helpful, as we discussed. So if you have a range queries, in that case, due to pre-calculated values of a sum, you can have a efficient way to get the range sum queries, and because of that we sometimes we may get the result in a of nk time complexity that can be solved in a O of k, because we have already calculated a sum array. All right, now this approach is, though it is called a prefix sum, but it is not limited to the sum. It can be used with the product as well as division. All right, okay, now let's take one problem, and then we will try to solve it with the brute force as well as with the prefix sum array. So this is the problem from the LeetCode, find a pivot index. What it says is you have given an integer numbers, write a method that returns a pivot index from this array. Okay, now what is the definition of the pivot index? So we define a pivot index as the index where the sum of all the numbers to the left of that index is equal to the sum of all the numbers to the right of that index, and if there is no such index exist, we need to return a -1. All right, so what it says is you have given one number array, and then you need to return one index where all the elements of right to that index, if you take a sum of that, that should be equal to all the elements sum on a left hand side of that index. So we need to return that index where we can satisfy this condition. All right, now let's see with one example. So here the given input array is 1, 7, 3, 6, 5 and 6, and we are returning 3 because if you see the index 3, all the elements on the left hand side, if you take a sum of that, it is going to be 11, and if you see on the right hand side, the sum is 5 plus 6 is going to be 11. So we will return a index 3 where it satisfied the condition. All right, now let's understand this solution approach with a normal brute force first, and then we will try to see how the prefix sum can be helpful. All right, so this is what the input array we have. All right, so if you see with the brute force approach, we would like to find out one index. So to find that index, what we can do with the brute force is like you iterate for each index. You will have one loop which will start from here and it goes till all the numbers. It will explore all the numbers, and during all the numbers at each iteration, you will see like what is the sum I'm getting at this side as well as at my right hand side. Let's say if you are at here, then at each iteration you will see this thing also, and then if you are having a match over there, then you will return that index. So this is going to be like one loop for your normal, which will start from 0 and it will go till n. Okay, and second loop you will again go for 0 to let's say somewhere I, and the other one will be probably you will go from I plus 1 to n, and then you will see the whatever the sum you are getting, and then you will return the result. So if you see here, it is ultimately we are taking it two times, two different loops, so it is going to be always of n square to get the your pivot index. Okay, now how this can be solved, or how it can be more efficient if we will calculate a prefix sum, or if we use a technique from the prefix sums. Now let's understand that one. So one thing we know is at any point of time, let's say you are at here, for example, you want to find out a sum of this one and sum of this one. Okay, now let's say you have a total sum of this array is equal to s. That is going to be your, let's say, total sum, and you calculated your prefix sum. So let's say first calculate our prefix sum array, that is 1, 8, 11, 17, 22 and 28. This is our prefix sum array. Okay, now let's say you want to calculate left and right elements sum. Okay, now for here, if you know that on a right hand side what is going to be your total sum, so if you see that just one position on a left hand side, you will get your total sum. Okay, now how to calculate on a right hand side? So you have a total sum, let's say s is equal to 28. You know your left hand side sum, so you will subtract this portion. Ultimately we are interested to find this portion sum. Okay, you will subtract your sum from the left hand side, so let's say sum of L. Okay, so that will remove this portion. Now we can remove this current index value from the array itself, so that way we will get a sum of your right hand side. Okay, this is going to be L minus 1. So if you take this way, so it will be 28 minus your left hand side sum is minus 8, and then number itself is going to be 3. Okay, so this gives you a result as 17. This is your sum of right hand side. So ultimately we are utilizing your pre-calculated value on a left hand side, then we will subtract it from the, you have a total sum, you will subtract from the left and that number itself, which gives you the sum of the right hand side. Okay, so if you have this data, then you can reduce the iteration between this right and left. All right, so ultimately this is going to be completed in your single loop. You don't need to again iterate for these sub arrays. Okay, now let's understand a code for this. Here the given in the method we have input array, and we would like to return the pivot index. So first what we are doing is we are just calculating the total sum. So we will iterate through the array and we will calculate the total sum. All right, and then we will start to find our pivot index. So for that we will start from 0 and we will see for the each index, and we'll go till end of the length of that array. Now here we are checking with the left sum is equal to sum total sum minus left sum and minus number itself. So here the left sum itself is acting as a prefix sum array. Okay, so every time if you see, we at the end we are adding that current number to the left hand sum. So ultimately this variable itself is generating your prefix sum. So every time you do not need to at least calculate a sum on a left hand side. Every time we will accumulate that prefix sum, and then that will be used in a next iteration. So whenever you will find that there is a match, that time you will return a 1, return that index, otherwise we will return a -1. All right, now let's go back. We have some of the problems list down which can be solved with using a prefix sum, and it will be more efficient as compared to your normal brute force approach. What I would suggest is I have also added this links in the description. You can go through it. What I would suggest is go through these problems, try to solve it, and if you face any difficulties, feel free to contact me on social media, or you can contact me on LinkedIn also. So that's it in this session. Hope you guys like it. If you have any suggestions or if you have any other tactics you would like to learn, feel free to post it in the comments. I would like to create a session on those tactics. That's it in this session. See you next time. Till the time, bye bye.